Hello, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast. I am Lynette M. Bradshaw. I'm so excited to have you here today. Whenever you are seeing this, please say hello. If you're watching on the replay, say hashtag replay so I can make sure that I acknowledge you. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. I want to talk to you about the subject that you see on your screen. It is time to stretch in order to receive what you are praying for and what you are desiring. So many times we are praying and confessing and speaking things over our lives, but the issue becomes a problem of not stretching. We're trying to have the same things every day and speaking something different. And when I say that, what I mean is we haven't taken time to expand our mind, to release some things off our lives that we've been using as a way of protection because that's what we came to know and what we came to do. And because of that, we don't realize that those things are holding us back. I want to tell you something. I just completed an amazing class with Dr. Cheryl P. Williamson. And just like any of the other classes that I have taken with her, it has expanded my mind. It has stretched my vision. It has stretched me. And so I wanted to come in today to just share what I'm learning for myself along my journey of shifting my words and working on my mindset and desiring greater to be better. And one of the things that I'm learning today about myself is that it's time to stretch. When I finished the class, I sat here and I prayed and I began to put into action some of the things that I learned. And I could visually see my mind being stretched on all corners. Isn't it powerful that we can change our lives through changing our mindset, through changing what we say? Many times we look around us for people to change, for situations to change, in order for us to change. Well, how about I tell you today that many of the things that I've been wanting to change are only beginning to change is because I am doing a different work for myself. And I want to encourage you to be able to do that also because you are deserving of the things that you are now visualizing for yourself, that you are now speaking for yourself, that you are now believing for yourself. But what if I also told you that the experiences that you've had in life, you decided, whether knowingly or unknowingly, to put some barriers around yourself in order for you to survive those things? That you put some idols in your mind and lifted them up high above anything else in order for you to be able to survive those things. When you begin to stretch, you begin to reach a top and you can't understand why you can't get past that level. Well, my purpose here today is to tell you that it's time for you to stretch. It's time for you to begin to pull down those idols that you put into your life in order to protect yourself and shield yourself and keep the what you consider to be the bad people away from you. Well, I also want to tell you that by doing that, not only did you keep things away from you in a way to protect yourself, but you also kept yourself from being able to evolve and connect with amazing people and to be able to see differently and visualize different for yourself. So, in order for you to be able to stretch and have the capacity to receive what you are praying for and what you're desiring, you must stretch your mind. You must pull those things down. You must release them from your life. You must be open and welcoming to what is new. I remember a scripture in the Bible where it talks about not pouring into old wineskin. Now, you Bible scholars, don't try and come for me because I don't know the exact scripture, but that's what I've been remembering today, and that's what's been coming to me. In order for us to be able to obtain the greater, the better, the more, it's imperative that we begin to shift. We begin to remove. We become welcoming. We begin to speak differently. Now, I can just tell you for myself because I don't want you to think that I'm here telling you that I have arrived, but I will tell you that my journey has been about overcoming and dismissing and pulling down the very things that I'm telling you about today. I understand in this moment that what I have been desiring and what I have been praying has never been out of my reach, but out of my capacity. My capacity to believe more could not fit into the space where I was trying to bring it into, because I still had the same mindset that caused me to put things into place to protect myself. When I started to desire to not only survive and exist, but to evolve, I became uncomfortable. That's how you know you're ready to stretch and you're doing the work to stretch, is when you become uncomfortable. Because when we start um, educating ourselves in whatever manner that is to grow, evolve, and become greater and more, we become uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar, right? But I also learned that in my getting that new information and doing that new work, I also discovered the limitations, right? The limitations of, you're trying to move this wagon, but you can only go so far, and it seems to be this invisible force that's hindering you from shifting that wagon out of one position into another, or even shoving it down the hill. It was my belief system, those safety nets and those false idols that I put in place unknowingly or knowingly, in order for me to be able to survive where I was. So the uncomfortable things that we are feeling as we begin to shift is not telling us that it's a bad place, but it's different. It's different. But you also recognize that what you have within you and what you have available to you cannot contain where you are going. It cannot contain where are you going. So when we talked about releasing the false idols that we lifted up to protect ourselves, I erected the altars of protection because I had been hurt so much. So if I put up these idols, and erected may not be the right word. It may be, but I don't know. But we're going with it, okay? I put those things in place inside myself to shield me from people and things hurting me. But what I realize now is that I put those things in a place where they never should have been. It was about survival. When you begin to shift your position, shift your understanding, shift your beliefs, shift what you believe you deserve and what you want, it is imperative that you are honest with yourself. It is imperative that you start with you first, that you be the man in your mirror and you really see where you are, that you're honest with yourself as to why you had to put those things in place to survive. And then give yourself permission to pull them down and take them out of their place, to put God in the place that he was always meant to be your protector, to be your provider, to be the one that helps you to discern the energy, the spirit that you're dealing with, and decide if that's what you want in your life. Because when you start with the man, the woman in the mirror, that's where your change can take place. That's the first place for it to take place. And as you begin to stretch, or even have a desire to stretch, you may not even put it as the word stretch right now. You're just wanting to be better. You're wanting to do better things. You're wanting to experience life different. And you may not even call it stretching right now. You're ready to get out of the comfort of the walls that you put into place, or that were put in place around you by people who didn't even realize that they were putting you in a holding pattern. They were just trying to do what they knew to do. Today, begin to remove every false sense of protection in your mind, in your heart, in your belief system, in your words, in order for you to be able to receive what you are praying and desiring. Then you're going to have to do something different. Invest in yourself. Invest in a class. Invest in teaching. Invest in going to events. Invest in doing something different to help you to know something different. I always feel more confident when I know something. When I have learned something, whether that's been in my photography business, whether that's knowing about business, whether that's knowing how to change my mindset, whether that's knowing something, I learned about myself that I feel more confident when I know something. We've been told that nobody can take your education, nobody can take what you learn from you. They may try, but they can't take it, because when you know what you know, you can speak on it confidently. You can do confidently, and you can share with others confidently. So invest in yourself. Be a student of someone, be a student of something to expand your mind, to expand your words. And I also tell you this, when I first started being a member of my church, the Potter's House, Bishop Jakes used to speak these words that my mind had never heard. I had never been in environments where people spoke certain words that he was speaking. And so I would find myself sitting in church being mad at him, thinking, why is he speaking all these big words? Why don't he just speak normal? We can no longer desire or think that people are supposed to come down to the level where we are in order for us to feel better. In fact, what I did is, along the way, when he would speak words that I didn't know and I didn't understand, I would write them down. And when I got home, I would look those words up. I would look those words up. So if he said it again, I was right there with him. And was it about him? No, it was about me having a desire to stretch, having a desire to know. What is it that you desire to know? What is it that you desire to be? What do you want to be able to understand? You must invest in the time, the money, the experience in order to have just that. Because when you know what you know, there's a confidence that comes into your heart and mind that nobody can take from you. Nobody can take from you. So as you are listening to me today, my goal is to empower you to desire to stretch, right? Desire to stretch, desire to no longer be in a place of being comfortable, deciding what you have put in your place as a mantle, in your life as a mantle, to hold you in place or to protect you, because it no longer can do that. And if you are praying about more, if you are desiring more, if you are believing for more, but you seem to be in a place where you can't seem to push through that door, you must choose to do the work, to pull down, to be open to learn what it's going to take to help you to stretch your mind so that you have the capacity, the space within yourself to make room for what is coming. To make room for what is coming. In order for you to be able to see yourself correctly, you must establish for yourself what is your reflection. What is causing you to see yourself in a way that you no longer want to be? What is the vision that you see when you think about you? What doors do you feel enclosed in because your mindset and your heart have created places for you that hold you safe? And now you are ready to break out of those doors. You have to start with the person in the mirror that's looking back at you. We have all experienced different things in our life, and they create a footprint on our hearts in order for us to survive them. But today, it's no longer about surviving. It's about you evolving, giving yourself permission to change your view, to change what protects you, to change what you allow to be your floor, to change what you allow to be your ceiling, to change your view of yourself so that you can go on and be the person you desire to be for now. Your prayers have been heard. No doubt about that. But there is also a work within you that you have to do, because you were the one who put those mantles in place, whether you knew it or not. You were the one who allowed the experiences to change the vision of yourself, knowingly or unknowingly. And you are the one that has to give yourself permission to pull those things down, to create a new place where you dwell within, to create a new vision of yourself that allows you to expand. All right. So that's what we're talking about today. making room for what's to come, making room for what you see now as you are doing the work to change your vision. And I want you to sound an alarm within everything that has made you comfortable and saying, I'm not staying here, I'm coming out. I'm making room for what's coming, what I desire now, what I'm believing for myself now. The prayers that I prayed, they need room within me to have a home, to find a place, to allow me to grow and evolve. All right. So thank you so much for those that are watching. Thank you for those who watch this on the replay. Please hashtag replay so I can come back and say hello to you. Let me know in the comments if this inspires you today, if it is something that you resonate with. All right. And so I'm going to leave in the comments some information about an upcoming anthology that is releasing the summer of 2023 with me as a visionary author and 4 other amazing authors. Dear Me, I See You is where we have found the courage to stretch and change our mirror reflection. So I'm going to leave that in the comments. You can click on that link and sign up to be notified when pre-orders begin. I look forward to reading your comments, and I pray that this message has been very helpful and encouraging to you today. So until next time, I'm Lynette M. Bradshaw, and I will see you on the next